So 19 years ago, I started my YouTube channel. I remember saying at that time that I thought YouTube would be huge. And I wish I had saved the video, but I didn't. I deleted it. But I remember thinking at the time, because I thought people would make fun of me. Because I really felt like it was going to be one of those things that you could go to for unbiased news and source and opinions and things like that. And that's what I love. And I wanted to see the authenticity of YouTube develop and grow. But I didn't really have anything to offer it at the time. I was able to post up some videos like I had an African gray parrot for 14 years. So I posted some videos of him because I love that. Some scuba diving videos. I owned a scuba diving shop and I cut, and you can see those on that channel. I had like a couple of, I had a burglar, a robber dude. He took some stuff off my porch. He jumped my fences. My dogs chased him back over the fence. That video went viral. I actually sold the rights to it to Ridiculousness. They sent me $100 check for that video. That was probably a mistake. I won't do that again. I was just glad to get noticed, and I loved Ridiculousness, and so I just sold it. But, I always knew I was going to make more videos. This was never going to be like Instagram. I love Instagram, and it's where I practice, really. And it's where I found out what works and what doesn't work. And I was able to take chances over there that I was not willing to take on YouTube, because I really wanted to protect my channel. Because I respect it, and I respect YouTube. And I respect the viewers who watch YouTube, because they're people like me. I've been watching YouTube since 2019. I was up in New York City, and my father was going to go on a cruise. And I've had a good relationship with my father. It was difficult. Like, we would have arguments and stuff, and he was a narcissist, and I'm a child of trauma, and we always butted heads, but we always came back together, and I loved my father very much. When I went to visit him in April, it was May of 2019, some stuff went down during that time, and I didn't speak to him for like 6 weeks. That was not unusual in our relationship. He was 84. 59. I left home when I was 16. I sobered up in 1997, and I went back to New York City, and I made amends with my father and my stepmother. And I spent the next 20 plus years doing everything I could to keep those amends like I meant it. Like it was really hard. My mom ended up getting Parkinson's disease, and so that lasted about 7 years. Very difficult to go through that. But I did it because I love my parents. And my father was still the same person that he was when I left home as a teenager. And so I had to rectify that in my mind. How was I going to handle this? And I handled it 100%. I handled it with everything I had. And I thought it was going to break. And then he died. And it was the hardest, greatest gift of my life. Like, for 9 months prior to his death, he was an absolute nightmare. And I withstood all of it. And he called me things and said things about me that I know he had been carrying his whole life. Because when he looked at me, he looked at my mother, who he divorced. And they had a really bad relationship. And I remember that trauma. I was only like 2 to 3 years old when they divorced. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I left with my mother on a train. We went to Louisiana and then ultimately Houston, Texas, where I would live for the first few years of my life. I would then go to live with my grandparents in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Actually, it was a little town called Topsy. I was a Pentecostal kid. I went to church twice on Sundays, Wednesdays. We did all activities with the church. My grandfather was not a human. He was horrible. And that is what I carry with me today. And all of that, my childhood, my parents' relationship, leaving home at 16, all of that has brought me here to YouTube, because I only ever wanted to be seen as a child and acknowledged. And I can do that here. And I've been doing it on Instagram. And I have developed a lovely community of people. I am so grateful for that. Because I've been through the worst of the worst. I've had 8 right leg surgeries. I am now disabled. I was on 14 years of mental health medications, and I am no longer on those anymore. It's been 5 years since I quit doing that. I am on not any painkillers or no opioids, nothing like that. That's been 2 years. It'll be 3 years this summer, actually, that I've been off that. So, yay. And it changed my life, all of it. All the surgeries, being disabled. My parents both ended up dying between 2017 and 2019. My brother died in 2016. I went through all these surgeries after that. My biological mother ended up passing this past November. My stepfather passed this February. So my husband's parents are both gone now. And I am at a place in my life where I have healed heart, brain, body, soul. I am happier now than I've ever been in my entire life. I feel more stable, more emotionally ready for what's to come. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I just wanted to bring y'all something that mattered. And what matters are the fans. And it's my videos it's my series I call A Common Thread. Because we all wear the t-shirt of the sports teams we love. And that's where I'm starting this at, is our fandom in the sports world. I'm a fan of the fans now. And I went through a pretty rough year after the trade, and I've come to a place that, like, wow, I'm being embraced by the fans of different organizations, and I'm extremely, I'm so grateful for that. And tonight, my story starts tonight. A Common Thread starts tonight. I'm going to bring you the fan story of the Spurs Jackals. They are one of the most amazing fan groups I have witnessed on Instagram. When Wembanyama came in, and how they started this whole thing with a drum, and they beat the drum, and they have a Go Spurs Go chant that they do. All of them have little personalities. I know for me and the Mavs fans, I was Dancing Deborah. And that's what they do with the Jackals. And those are the stories I want to bring you. I've already been invited by the Lubbock chapter of the Dallas Stars fans, where they do watch parties, and they invited me to come hang out with them, and I'm definitely going to make that happen. But tonight, it's all about the Spurs and the Jackals, and I'm going to record a lot of it, and the fan group is going to record a lot of it. It's going to be all over on Instagram on my channel over there, but I am going to cut a video, and I'm going to bring you the experience of the fans that I love so much. I'm going to bring it, and I love it, and I'm happy, and I thank you for watching. Here we go, baby. Here we go.